Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. For a change, Shashwat was free, so I managed to pull him down and bring him down to the studio and have a conversation with us. Of course, there are many things which was on the mind for us to talk about when it came to stocks and investment in the US, but an interesting thing happened in the morning when the news broke that Stephen Colbert's show has been cancelled by CBS. And there's lots of hoopla around that, thinking that it's because he was aggressively against Trump, and that's why the cancel culture cancelled him. And I don't think it's that. And I would like to say how economics is very important when it comes to all kinds of business decisions, especially a company when it doesn't see money, they have to see that fundamentally everything is about making money because we're in the business of making money.
Well, one of the core reasons why shows like Stephen Colbert have to, or rather aren't making as much money as they used to before, is because of us. Well, us, I mean that people who come on YouTube and talk for free. And talk for free, yes, of course, there's AdSense, and then you have sponsorships if companies sponsor YouTubers. But the point is that anyone and everyone can put up a setup that's, I don't think it's on camera, but we have a setup with two lights,
Or even just a phone.
yeah, and we have a table here and we're talking to you, and almost thousands of people are watching this. We're taking away viewership from, let's say, TV channels which would otherwise be getting the view time which you're giving us. So, for example, some of you might be watching NDTV if this show was not available right now, or you might be watching NBC or Bloomberg or whatever
If
it is.
YouTube wasn't available, it would be phenomenally different, the
Yeah,
landscape.
it would. And YouTube is not so new that, not so old that there are people who can't remember YouTube. There are people. I mean, people are there who remember how it was before YouTube and how it is after YouTube. Clearly,
But I would say your generation has had a major impact on this.
Yes.
Because you guys are matured in the ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would say for you to imagine the world before YouTube,
Yeah.
you really have to think hard.
By the time I was, let's say, cognizant of my surroundings, the internet had become huge. Everyone had access to it. Almost anything and everything was integrated with the internet. So it's different, and it's only become faster and faster to the point where I remember 2019 was around the period where MoneyPechu was started, 2018, 2019. And that was done as a hobby project. He just wanted to promote financial.
Thanks to you, actually. Because you're the one who was. Shashwat was watching YouTube when he was very young at the time, and he told Mama, Mama, you need to get onto YouTube. He says that's where you need to be. And we just thought, okay, because Shashwat is saying it, we'll just roll our dice with it and see. And we actually have to thank Shashwat for this whole phenomenon of MoneyPechu.
You give me too much credit. But the point is that, anyone who's read, tons of books is able to turn the camera on, come on screen, and as long as the information that they're giving sits well with the audience, people are going to watch. And today, the viewership which is on YouTube has skyrocketed. The biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, he's making millions of dollars on YouTube, and he's getting all these high-profile sponsorships. And now it's become, life imitates art, art imitates life. It used to be that YouTube used to imitate what reality TV and real-time TV used to do, and now real-time TV seems to be imitating what YouTubers are doing. They're trying to pull off the kind of stunts which Mr. Beast is pulling off, and they're trying to get Mr. Beast to, Amazon tried to get Mr. Beast to do a series with them. I think they did it.
Yeah.
But the point is that YouTube and social media platforms have completely driven the market to the extent where shows like Stephen Colbert with the huge production costs simply aren't,
Viable anymore.
Yeah, turning a profit.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about as a value investor. See, when I was at your age, TV was huge. TV companies were huge. Paramount, CBS were all, NBC were all considered like behemoths. They're like, you can never imagine them disappearing. Washington Post, the newspapers. We never thought of it. Then the internet came. Then YouTube came, and they've slowly streaming, Netflix. All of them have clawed away. Now to the point in the US, streaming is more dominant than regular TV. So the cable cutting has been going on, as they say it in the industry. Cutting the cord has been going on rapidly. Disney, all of them are moving away. And we've seen this transition to streaming. Now, in this mix, we saw this huge transition happening, a new economy developing. But before this economy could just come into gestation and mature into something, you have AI thrown into it. And recently I saw this video by Rick, the guy who we watched, the guitar guy.
Rick Beato.
Yeah, Rick Beato. There you go.
Yeah.
He created AI, a song, on the fly, on the video. He goes to ChatGPT, then uses Claude, and using Claude uses Sonos or whatever that thing is called, AI, and he creates songs. And he's saying, it sounds pretty good. And he says, is this music? He's like, personally, I don't think this is music. And Velvet Underground or whatever, not Underground, Velvet.
Yeah, the Velvet Underground. Okay,
and now,
Velvet Underground is the actual band.
Actual band, sorry. It's called Velvet Sunset, I think. This is a AI supposedly created by a fictional band which has gone viral, right?
Yeah.
And supposed to be AI generated. AI is now coming. And YouTube is now saying they're going to prevent monetization of purely AI generated videos. The slop, the AI slop, tons of cat videos or whatever memes.
Yeah.
People are trying to monetize everything and anything.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that Rick Beato said, he says companies like Spotify are incentivized to use AI to create music now because your generation and the younger generation, like your siblings, they are more and more now, they don't care if there's an artist or not. As long as you're entertaining me, like Nirvana said, entertain me. The team spirit, entertain me. So as long as you're being entertained, you're ready, you don't care if there's an artist or not.
Yeah.
So that transition is happening. So is this model also going to last for a very short time? Do you think YouTube and whatever we're seeing as content creators, as a realm, a sphere, do you think it's pretty much looking down a barrel where it's just going to turn into, finally it'll boil down to, I'd rather meet someone face to face. This whole media of internet online will transition back, going way back even before television came, that we would rather prefer a live music show or a live artist painting something by hand. Do you think your generation will get fed up of this?
From my personal experience using AI, I've been using AI, experimenting with it for the past few years now. When ChatGPT first came out, I got access to it because a friend of mine actually put me onto it. He said that we were talking about something in computer science class, and I was saying that there's a lot of coding work to be done. And he said, why are you worrying? Then just put it on ChatGPT. And I was like, what do you mean ChatGPT? He said, it codes everything. Went on there, and it was remarkable what generative AI could do. But after using it for quite a while, I've stopped using it again in the creative work that I do, simply because that, like you said, it lacks the human touch. It's mechanical. I feel that this is my personal view. It feels very bone dry. It feels completely cookie cutter, bone dry, lacks the personal touch, and it lacks depth of knowledge as well. For example, a test for viewers sitting at home. There's a deep research feature on ChatGPT. Put up the deep research feature and ask it to give you the top 10 most valuable stocks in India. Yeah. It'll give you some list and ask
it's trash.
Yeah, and ask it to give you the rationale, and you'll be sitting there wondering.
One thing that keeps always coming when I try experiment, like what you rightly said, I've tried it on multiple AI models. Coal India keeps coming up all the time, and Vedanta keeps coming up all the time. Vedanta and Coal India. I'm like, really?
Yeah. So pick up Coal India stock chart and look at what performance it's given you. Look at Vedanta and see what performance.
And funnily enough, people in our viewing segment, when I do live feed and Q&A and all that, Coal India keeps getting thrown up because I think people are like using AI to see what value stocks are in India, but they're getting scared to invest just based on AI. So they're reaching out to me and they're asking, what do you think about Coal India? I'm like, wait, where's this sudden interest in Coal India?
Yeah. So first of all, I would suggest that don't use AI for your investments or anything but as long as you treat it as a tool. That's
like a calculator.
Yeah, like a calculator.
Scale or anything.
Exactly. You wouldn't consult your calculator on which project you should use its measurements for. You would simply take the calculator and make the measurements you want to make or make the calculations you want to make, and that's it. That's what it does. For example, once you pick up a stock, once you have the balance sheet and everything and you have the numbers, you needed to simply conduct some compound interest calculation, even which it makes mistakes with, by the way. It's not perfect at math. I would suggest that most of the work that needs to be done can be done solely by Excel. There are multiple tools at your disposal with some AI integration that will help you out. But beware of I don't want to sound like a fearmonger or a Luddite, but the main thing that I want, because I've experimented with it, there's a lot of errors that come about when using
Yeah,
AI.
hallucinations very rampant.
Yes.
I was asking something like, I asked if, what's his name? Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
I asked Chat GPT, is Trevor Noah become an American citizen? He said, yes, he's become an American citizen. Whoa, when did he become an American citizen? She said he announced it in Stephen Colbert's show, and he told Stephen Colbert, I'm very happy to become American. So I was like, which episode was it? No, then it came back and said, no, I'm wrong. It was actually on his Facebook post. I said, where is the Facebook post? And then it came back and said, no, I was completely wrong. So then I said, were you hallucinating? And said, I'm sorry, I'm not able to tell you.
Yeah, and ChatGPT is a yes man. So whatever you say, if you say the sky is high, the moon is blue, it'll say yes, that's correct. You're absolutely correct. And if you say the opposite in the next prompt, it'll say absolutely. I think you've done a great job in catching me out on my lie, whatever lie that may have been.
The link for the form is down below, the Google form. Do fill it out if you're interested in recommendations. The US and Japanese patas list below, and we'll have that reached. My team will reach out, or I will reach out soon and get you sorted out for that too. Thanks for being with us on Be Rich. Hope you have had a wonderful day which part of the world you're watching from. From here in Chennai, all of us are wishing you a great evening. Good evening.
Thank you.